everyone, it's Mel The Physio here and wishing you all a very happy new year. It's a brand new year and a fresh start to focus on your health and well-being. Together, we will dive into tips, exercises, and strategies to keep you mobile, healthy, and pain-free for the new year. So let's make this year your healthiest one yet. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about realistic New Year resolution health goals. I have so many patients, friends, family members who are really keen to start their new year with a bang, get into your fitness, work out 7 days a week. I want to get fit. I want to lose the weight. And it's great. So these are great thoughts. It's just, how are you doing them? I see so many people just slam bang into just overdoing things and then hurting themselves or getting demotivated because they can't achieve their goals. So this is what we're going to talk about today and look at today, realistic health and fitness goals for the new year, which is doable and also will be you'll be able to do for the whole year and then feel really good about yourself because you've been able to achieve these mini goals that you've been putting. So I'll just give you a few examples on how to do that. It's a new year, a fresh start, where you not only have to start by planning what you're going to do, but have a look at the last year. What were the problems that you faced or the challenges that you had when you were working out? What worked and what didn't? So this is a good way to start, where you say, okay, this really worked for me well when I scheduled my fitness in the morning or in the evenings. This worked for me better, or I find it really hard to work out on my own. I really felt good working out with my friends. Just have a look at what worked for you. So moving forwards, that you can then implement those things that worked and then kind of find solutions for the things that didn't. Then we need to find or work out how your overall current physical health is. And there are a few things that you can measure so that you can then have that starting parameter and see how you improve through the year. So first we'll check the metabolic fitness. How you can do that is checking your resting pulse rate. So when you're waking up in the morning before you have to rush off to work, you just check how many beats you have in the minute. So a normal healthy adult should be having between 60 to 100 beats per minute. And that you can just have note it down once you've checked that. You can also check your blood pressure, which checks your cardiovascular health by using a blood pressure machine. So normally it should be 120 over 80 millimeters mercury. If there's any abnormalities, you can always talk to your GP or physio about it, and then work out what best ways to work out what fitness routines and types of fitness work for you. So that's the metabolic fitness check that you can do. Those are good parameters to start off. Then you can check your body composition. So I know it's really hard for me to say this at the beginning of the year, but having that weighing scale or checking your weight at the start of the year is always a really good thing to do. I know it's hard after the great Christmas meals and Christmas cake and all the goodies that you've been having over December, but checking that weight at the beginning of the year will then give you that starting parameter that come February, when you check your weight again, wow, you may have reduced a kilo, or you've maybe improved to 2 kilos, like you've reduced your weight, and that gives you that encouragement and to keep going. So checking your weight is one way that you can note down before you start out your workouts. Body mass index, BMI, is the relationship between a person's height and weight. So checking where you're at in the chart. So there's usually online, you can write down your height and your weight, and then it'll give you your current value in the range of how it normally should be. And that gives you kind of a good idea, okay, am I a little overweight or am I underweight? And then you will have a good idea of where you should start in your workout plan. There are a few others, which is like hip to waist ratio you can check, or skin fold, but I would keep it simple. So you have your weight check, BMI, your pulse rate, your blood pressure checked, and so that will give you good parameters on your physical health. You can also track your fitness activity levels at the moment. So an easy way to do it is to track your step count. Studies have shown that the more steps you do, the more benefits that you have. So on a normal adult between 18 to 59, your normal step or average step count should be between 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. So the question is, you can check that if you're doing that or not. Adults above 60 should be between 6,000 to 8,000, have 6 to 8,000 steps a day. So those are the kind of current values that are considered healthy. And so you can see if you're maybe having a fewer amount of steps, and then your goal could be, for example, okay, in 2 weeks or by February, I want to reach 9,000 steps a day. That's my target. So that's a really good way to check, okay, I'm here now, but then you see the improvement later on. You can always discuss this with your GP or physio in terms of, okay, how is my physical health and what should I be doing, especially if you have another ailment or a condition where you need to really adjust or be careful, or the load matters in fitness, so that you're not overdoing it or underdoing it. So if you're not sure, you can always talk to a health professional. Then you can check where you are in your current physical health. For more athletic kind of checks that you can do is you could do the push-up test or the plank challenge or a 2-meter walk test. Those are people who want to check a more athletic kind of physical health. They can do that as well. So the next thing that you want to look out for is making specific goals, SMART goals. Why SMART? Well, you want to be smarter, of course, about how you train, but the SMART is an anagram for specific, measured, achievable, realistic, and time-oriented. SMART. Like you can have a goal like, I want to be pain-free and have a better posture in 2025. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to be stretching every day, 15 minutes to achieve that. That is a kind of a SMART goal, because it's not, oh, I just want to get fit and healthy. That's an overall, not so specific. I mean, it is a goal, but it's not that specific. So SMART goals are really great that way, because you can write down exactly what you want to achieve. So for example, a specific achievable goal could be, I want to be able to walk 8,000 steps by the end of January. So that's a specific goal. It's achievable because now for example, I could be at 6,000 steps a day. So could I achieve 8,000 steps a day? Yeah, I could do that by the end of January. So it's achievable. Is it measurable as well? So yes, I could do that with a step counter. So I have my watch, or I can put an app on my phone where I can measure the amount of steps I do a day. And it's achievable, realistic. Yes, it is, because I'm able to do that by the end of January. And I've put a time frame on it, which is the end of January. So getting your SMART goals sorted is really a good thing to do. So you have little specific goals. Like for me, for example, I want to switch from sprint swimming to endurance swimming, which is not that easy. But my target is, okay, I want to be able to swim 1 kilometer in 30 minutes. Okay, and right now I might be using or swimming 1 kilometer in 45 minutes. So my goal will be in end of January, I want to be able to swim 1 kilometer in 30 minutes. How am I going to do that? So it's for me, 45 minutes to 30 minutes. That's kind of a reasonable time frame. By the end of January, I have a target-oriented goal, and I measure it by. So for me, I use my watch where I can measure the amount of lengths that I swim, or I count it in my head and check the time. So that's my personal SMART goal. So you can use SMART goals, for your workouts, and it's a great tool to use to create achievable goals. And then once you've achieved it, it feels so good. So you just have to try that. Another really important thing is don't dive in too fast and too intensely into your workouts. Start small and build up the momentum. I see it so many times. Again, you just rush into working out and then you injure yourself or you get demotivated. So it's a good idea to be realistic, where you say, okay, I'm going to try for 2 times a week, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to go 3 days of the week, I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm going to start slow, and then I'm going to build it up. So at the beginning, I might do 15 minutes, and then I might go to half an hour. So that's a realistic kind of building it up kind of goal-oriented workout strategy. It's better than just going and every day of the week, and then next week you're just flat out, and then you have muscle pains, and then it just doesn't make you feel like doing it again, and then you get caught to not working out for that week. And then so it's good to kind of start slow, build it up, and then you really get motivated to continue. The other thing we want to make sure is to prevent New Year's injuries. I see that all the time in my clinic as well. After January, February, come February, you have strains, sprains, overuse injuries, burnouts from workouts, and also carrying on old injuries into new ones or re-aggravating them. So it's great to have incentive to start working out, but it's also important to realize, okay, I don't want to do too much too soon and then injure myself. To prevent any injuries happening, you want to make sure you have a really good warm up and warm down routine. In your workout, or if you're doing a sport, check your technique, because often we come in at the same point that we left off and maybe your technique is off or something like that. So you can check that as well. Also, having a really good 5-minute stretch before or after is really important to look out for as well. Posture is another thing we want to really emphasize in the new year. Posture is a really key point, and I talked about that in previous episodes as well. The main point is core activation. The other one is proprioception and alignment. So having a feel of where your body is in the space, so functional posture through movement, through spaces, having your core activated, making sure that you're engaging those muscles, that's really key. Making sure in different positions that you're in throughout the day, are you activated, and how is your posture throughout those movements when you're driving, when you're at work, and especially if you have a seated job, always make sure you're focused on your posture. And in even athletic postures are really key. So posture is something that's really important in the new year, and always has been, but really focus on it this year, because it just prevents a whole bunch of injuries. It's something I have to constantly correct, although my patients now have got it sorted for the new year. But I know you can as well. And I know from previous episodes, if you've understood them really well, you can also implement that very easily. The power of stretching. Stretching is really, really important. And don't forget about it in 2025. It increases your flexibility, your mobility, reduces stiffness, injury, and improves circulation. Stretching is just an amazing thing you can do. So don't leave it out of your goals and your workouts in the new year. I'm going to show you a few of those stretch and some stretch routines you can do a little later on. But just keep in mind that stretching is key. So when we're talking about stretching and stretching exercises, I'm going to show a few of them that are really useful to do. Some generalized ones where you're targeting a group of muscles. So the first one is going to be the swan, I like to call, because what you're doing is you're reaching up and you're stretching your abdominal muscles, your arms, and kind of getting that whole movement in. So this one, I'm sure you know, which is called cat-cow. It's a really great stretch for the spine, where the whole spine starts to move and stretch. And this is a really lovely one to do after work, or during the day when you're feeling really stiff in your back. But this is a regular, good exercise, a good stretch to do every day. From there, we can nicely go into a nice child's pose. They call it in yoga. It elongates the spine, stretches out all those lovely muscles. And also it stretches the quad. So you have a multiple group of muscles that are getting stretched here. And also really good benefit is it stretches out the quad here, which is really nice because you have a multiple of muscles that get stretched with this activity. Then we go into lumbar rotation. So this also is a lovely one because you get to stretch the rotation muscles, the rotational muscles, a little bit of the glutes as well. But we need rotation in our spine. So it's a lovely one to kind of, you stretch, you turn to the other side and then this way. So this is a really good one, easy to do, but it gives you a lot of benefits for a multiple group of muscles. And the footballer stretch I love to do because again, it works out a lot of muscles, it's dynamic. And how you do that is you don't go into a plank, but you go into a higher plank. And as you can see, my heels are off the ground, my toes are on the ground, but you want to be then pedaling. So getting your heel as close as the ground as possible. And that stretches your calf and the chain in the lower extremity as well. And then you're really kind of getting the lovely stretch. And at the same time, it's a great dynamic warm up or warm down. I love to do this stretch. I do it always after work because I'm on my feet all day long. This is a great way to warm down and stretch. Shoulder rolls are a great way to also do a really nice stretch. It's also a great mobility exercise. You can do this in the car, you can do this in the office, you can do this when you wake up as well. So what you're doing is you're pulling your shoulders back, up and back. So not tightening up here, but you're just rolling it back, setting the shoulder blades, you'll feel it crunching initially because you haven't been doing it regularly. The more regular you do it, the smoother it'll be. You'll get that nice kind of WT-40 into the joints, getting that movement going. So it's kind of lubricating those joints nicely. So this is a lovely stretch to do as well, and you can do it anywhere. Then make sure you're building a sustainable fitness routine. So you don't only want to have it for January, you want it to last the whole year. So make sure you have your SMART goals sorted. SMART. So be specific about your goals, measure it, have achievable goals, realistic expectations, and time-oriented goal sets. So those are those SMART goals. So have that checked. Have a realistic plan that you could do for the week that you can also achieve, because that will encourage you to keep going. Another thing is start slow, build it up, to that momentum that you want. Don't start with an intense pace. And have a variety so that you're not always or not getting bored with the same kind of workout all the time. So maybe do a cardio workout on one day, maybe do a strength program on the other, and then maybe do a kind of a flexibility or stretch routine on the other day. So an example of that could be, okay, Monday, I'm going to go for a 2-kilometer walk. Okay. Tuesday, I'm going to do a 15-minute stretch workout. Wednesday is my rest day. Thursday, I'm going to do a gym workout, and then I'm going to do some stretches afterwards. Thursday, Friday, then I'm going to be doing another walk. Saturday, I'm going to do another stretch routine, and Sunday is my rest day again. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have a kind of a program set so you can note it down in your diary, or have a kind of a plan set so that you're ready to, or it's realistic for you, and then you keep to it. And don't be demotivated if you miss one day. It's fine. You can get back into it at least. So I always tell my patients it's so okay to not want to work out every day. You can work out 3 days of the week or 2 days of the week. Keep it realistic, because at least you're moving and you're active and you're getting your body to feel really good about doing that. So even working out 2-3 days of the week is really, really helpful. Having rest days is also really important. So plan in rest days or break days. And even if you have 3 break days during the week or 4 break days, it's fine. But just start somewhere and then build that up nicely. So just remember, having that goal of staying fit and healthy is really great. But remember, don't set your goals too high that it's not achievable, because that will really discourage you. So set realistic goals for the new year and start small, build it up, because you feel really great about it and it encourage you to continue throughout the year. That's the main point, is you start somewhere, you build it up slowly, and then you continue throughout the year, so that you get into a really healthy lifestyle, you enjoy your workouts, and you're feeling really good. Okay, so we started this series last year, and I'm down to my, oh my goodness, 7th episode. Thank you so much for all the positive response that you've given me and the feedback as well. It's been super, and I'm so glad that it's been, I've been able to help and answer some of the questions you maybe have had in the past. So I'm really looking forward to this year and continuing to really discuss really important topics in terms of health and wellness and fitness, and trying to get you to get moving, because life is movement and movement is life. So we're going to be moving through 2025. And wait, now, can I tell it again?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Happy New Year 2025. Metabolic fit. Okay, I'll do that again. Okay, I'll start by first thing. Smart goals. Okay, shall I do it again?